Has your child's school system offered now an in-person learning schedule and a virtual learning schedule, and you and your child's parent just can't agree as to whether your child should go to school or should participate in a hybrid or virtual school environment, and you're wondering what should happen and how that should be resolved? Well, my name's Patrick Slaughter. I'm one of the founding members of LaFevor and Slaughter, a family law firm in Northeast Tennessee. I'd be happy to answer that question for you because it just came up in a case that was litigated before a judge, a very good judge in Anderson County. This is something that we're seeing a lot of because school systems across the state are offering various options. It's not uncommon for the school system to offer regular in-person, come to school every day type of curriculum, but they're also offering virtual stay-at-home, learn from your, at home, like homeschooling. And sometimes parents don't agree. Frankly, I represented a father who wanted his child to go to in-person school, and the mother did not. And honestly, I'd figured that the judge was probably going to allow for the mother to keep the children at home, but was pleasantly surprised because we argued in the alternative. And the judge ended up taking a recess to access a memo or some other guidance that she had received from the Tennessee Supreme Court. And it seems that the opinion of the court system is going to be that it is in the children's best interest to attend in-person schooling. That's right. If they can go to school, they should, with the following exceptions. If the child suffers some underlying condition that may present a comorbidity or some other situation that would make the child not just more susceptible to COVID-19, but would possibly enhance the effects COVID-19 would have on the child, that would be a mitigating factor that might preponderate against the child going to public school. The other concern or the other factors that were to be considered were whether the parents, either of the parents, had themselves or someone else living in the home that could be potentially at serious risk for the effects of COVID-19 with potentially other comorbidities such as heart disease, diabetes, obesity, things of that sort. The other factor that the judge mentioned was the fact that both parents worked full-time and who was going to be home to be able to make sure the children were learning appropriately, and that was a factor. I don't know if one parent had been available to take care of the child at home and supervise the at-home learning, if the judge might have found the other way. But in our case, both folks worked full-time, and the judge didn't see a reason because nobody suffered any potential comorbidity, no other person in their households were subject to increased risk factors, and therefore she ordered the children to go to public school. So I think that's pretty smart, and I think that makes sense. So hopefully you can use that framework in making your own decisions. Use those factors to evaluate whether they're something that's at play in your situation. If you need some help trying to figure that out, feel free to pick up the phone and give us a call. I'm happy to talk to you about it because it's something that we're dealing with pretty much every day. Also, just because one judge felt one way in one county doesn't mean that another judge in a different court in a different county is going to feel the same way. So don't take this as, that's the absolute, word of God. It is what one judge under a very reasonable circumstance found. Your judge could find otherwise. So it's important to talk with an attorney who has experience with that court and that judge to maybe enlighten you as to what the possibilities may or may not be. So feel free, like I said, give us a call. We're happy to walk you through it if you'd like, and we'll see where we can go from there. In the meantime, do what's best for your children. If they can go to school, absolutely send them. If there's going to be a particular risk to them or to yourself, then obviously that needs to be taken into consideration. But I know you're going to do what's right for yourself and for your kids.